of database. These resources include Gesture database, YouTube database, Google Scholar database, abstracting and indexing database, discipline-specific databases, multidisciplinary databases, publishers databases, and so on. This is under database. Resources available for reviewers in terms of material. The materials you review fall under the following categories: journal material, book materials, book chapters materials, magazine materials, monograph materials, newspaper materials, case study materials. Recording information obtained from literature, use of tape recorder, freehand record, snapshot photograph, duplication, machine. Then, conclusively, we can then say in conclusion that literature review and research relates to how a researcher engages previous research efforts with intention to unveil the weakness and strength of findings, methods, theory, gap, and title of previous work. This is the point we draw to a close. The content of topic 4. We have to pull this PowerPoint down and replace it with PowerPoint for topic 5, so that we do the discussion after we have finished the 3 topics. So I'm pulling this down and replacing it with PowerPoint for topic 5. Yeah. 5.
Thank you very much. So the oral sound is out. The A basically goes out. A again the O produce oral. They are all produced oral. That is why we say they are oral sound. They are oral sound.
Yeah. My screen.
All we are trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
The French alphabets look like alphabets. It's their pronunciation is different. And the pronunciation is different.
Yep. So
show you pronunciation.
I take it that all protocols are duly observed. This is topic number 5. Topic number 5 is dealing with research questions and research objectives. And the expectations from this topic includes that at the end of the topic, you should be able to know what research objectives are, what research questions are, what general objectives are, what specific objectives are, what hypotheses are, what course contents are. So, research objective. Yeah. Research objective emanates from research questions that comes from research gap created in the statement of research problem. Research questions are those questions raised from research gap intentionally to be answered so as to fill the gap so created in the statement of problem section. The gap in question is usually gap in knowledge about a particular phenomenon under consideration. Gap in knowledge may be identified in theory, methods, and findings of previous research after review. General research objective. General objective in this context is the research topic or title itself. It's usually contain independent and dependent variables. Its general objective establishes causality and that cause and effect principle. Hello. Yes, I am having a class, please. After 4, you can call, please. That is 4:30. I'll be through with the class, please. It usually contains independent and dependent variables. General objective establishes causality, that is cause and effect principle. It must be simple, clear statement. Specific objective, on the other hand, are transposed research questions. It reflects the gap in knowledge targeted to be filled. The class activity here, identify the characteristics of research objective. We leave this to when we shall be engaging ourselves in class discussion. We go to the hypothesis. Hypotheses here are unproven statement of fact. It features null and alternate hypothesis. The null hypothesis is represented with the symbol HO, capital H and capital O. And then capital H and 1. Then it is a proposition. It is unverified generalization that could course content. Course content involves the content of course in offer. It is usually in modules and units. Yeah, so as usual, I conclude with this. Objectives in research relates to coordinated procedural plan aimed at answering research question created from an established research gap. So we pull down this PowerPoint, and then we had to we have to
The V is the one you exaggerate. Graph just exaggerating.
Yeah. Hello. I hope we are together, please. Are you hearing me? I hope you are hearing me.
We are hearing you.
Okay. Yeah. So I had pulled down the PowerPoint for topic number 5. I'm replacing it with topic number 6, so that that will be the last topic before we enter into the discussion segment of the class.
From 4 o'clock, no just the person won't go because as you are going, just get your class.
Please, who is that person disturbing the class?
All right, so with that, I think come to semester.
Yeah. So I'm sure you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? I'm sure you can see my screen. Yes, my screen is up for topic 6. Topic 6 will be dealing with research methodology. Research methodology. The expected learning outcome will be that you must know at the end of the lecture the meaning of methodology. You must know the enough questions to consider, what questions to consider in the choice of methods to use. Components of research methodology, example, research design, approach, study area, study population, sampling and sample size, data collection instruments, data analysis, ethical issues. These are components of research methodology. So, research methodology as a concept. Research methodology stands as varieties of methods involved in a research project to the collectives of standard to not stand alone, but involve every aspect of research process. It literally means the engagement of more than one methods in the conduct of a research exercise. Questions to consider in the choice of methods to use. The research type, longitudinal or cross-sectional research. One of the questions to be considered in the choice, in making a choice of which method, research methods to use. First of all, you ask yourself, which dimensions of research am I engaging? Is it the longitudinal research or the cross-sectional research? Longitudinal research, like I had always told you, involves such topics like the pregnancy issues. The pregnancy issues cannot be researched upon and concluded within anything less than 1 year, whereas your class, your final year project is expected to be rounded up between a month and 6 months. So, and that one fall under the cross-sectional research. The research topic variables is also a determinant of what kind of methods to use. What kind of variables are involved? Is it monovariate variable? Is it bivariate variable? Or is it multivariate variable? That will determine which method you want to adopt in doing that research or in the choice of method, methods to use. Cost is also a reason to consider when making a choice of method to use. Which method is less adopt? It's a very important question. The consideration: how large the population and how can the sampling affect representativeness? Time is another consideration. How much time is specified for each research or any research at all? There's always time order analysis, time specification. So if it depends on the time given to you, that will make your choice of, that will determine the choice of method you want to apply. Then competence. Competence is talking about your capability and your capacity. How much research capacity is available to take up a particular method or to adopt a particular method. So those are the considerations in the choice of methods to use. Then another thing is the components of research methodology. Components of research methodology include the research design approach, study area population, sampling, sample size, data collection, instrument analysis, ethical consideration. These are just but few. There are many other components of research methodology, just like for instance, the people are also part of it too. You know, so class discussion. So we go to research design. Research design is the choosing design justifiably appropriate for a research endeavor. It involves descriptive survey, experiment, and exploratory designs. Research approaches. Approach in research involve description in terms of qualitative dimensions of research. While qualitative research approach is associated with exploratory design, the quantitative approach goes with the descriptive design. Study area population. Study area is the area where study population is derived. It is either homogeneous or heterogeneous. The texture of the population determines the sampling and sample size. Sampling and sample size. Sample is the subset of a population. The determinant of a good sample is its representativeness. Sample size is the number of elements representatively drawn from a population. Sampling is the justifiable method of drawing a sample from given population. The method can be random sampling, stratified sampling, systematic sampling, purposive sampling, accidental sampling, multi-stage sampling, and so on and so forth. The next one is data collection, instrument analysis. Two types of data collection are involved in research method: primary data collection and then secondary data collection. In the context of primary data concerned here, instruments such as questionnaire, interview, focus group discussion, case study, archival are involved. Analysis of primary data can either be t-test ANOVA, Atlas T, in vivo, SPSS, or chi-square. SPSS, for your information, means Statistical Package for Social Sciences. Yeah. So the next is ethical considerations in research. This is what most of us who are into research fully must put into consideration, particularly at the beginning of the research and also at in the course of the point of considering which methods to adopt in doing research. Consent is one characteristic, is one consideration. Confidentiality is another consideration. Neutrality is another consideration. Secularity is another consideration. Do no harm is another consideration. There are actually many other considerations. You know, the legality of that research also is part of it. There are very many other ones, you know, that falls under ethical consideration. Like for instance, consent. You know, you cannot go to interview somebody or want to call somebody your respondent without first seeking his consent. Also, the confidence imposed on you as a researcher by your subject or your respondents cannot be compromised by you. You must ensure that in the choice of method of research to use, that you must be able to abide by the confidentiality of people's people information that they give to you. The neutrality, you must not take side in research. Research is an empirical and objective activity, and be seen to be taking side, to be biased, or to prejudge any situation. Just be neutral in all your research activity. So secularity is another thing that deals with our belief system. So researchers are secular people. They do not consider any religion as anything that has to do with the research, because research is procedural and it is also empirical and objective. So religion, faith, or whatever thing, belief system has nothing to do with research. And above all, you must aim at doing no harm even to your subject under study or to your respondents, even to your research assistants. So these are ethical considerations that you have to evaluate and see how you conform to these terms before even embarking on a research project. So next, as we draw the curtain on this topic, we are concluding by this. In research involves the collection of methods deployed in research processes as matter of procedure. So this is where we are coming to an end of this rundown of the three topics, topic 4, 5, and 6. I expect as we pull down this share screen for a classroom discussion, that all of us will participate and make the discussion a robust one, make the debate a conversation one that will ignite extension, will ignite interest for further discussion and deliberation in it. So thank you for the rapt attention you have given to me. I entered into the discussion room, I want to give you this too and welcome you into, as a way of welcoming you into the classroom for discussion. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's come. Okay. 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 Yeah, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for a discussion. So, please, let's start the question, observation, and contribution. So, you have anything to tell us? Do you have any question to ask us? Please do that by raising up your hand, and then we'll give you the floor to ask your question. Yes, Anne Ogochukwu, the hand is up. Yes, unmute yourself, please.
Right. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Please, I want to appeal that, sir, please, it's not a question. I just want to appeal that you should please share your screen for topic 5 again. Network couldn't allow me get anything from the class. If it's possible, please.
You see, we are running against time because You know, I came in late and I don't want network catch us out of this discussion. Let us finish the discussion, and then if there is still time, then I'll open it for you. Is that okay?
Okay. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, inventions, discussions. Yeah. Ask your questions. Ask your questions. Make your observations. And then Jugu Bitrus, iPhone, the unknown man. You, Etok, Obanilo, Oluwaseyin, Ogochukwu, Victoria Chaka, Dankat, Ladoko. Yeah, I'm waiting for your reactions. Please, let's talk. I'm waiting for your reaction. We have just finished a rundown of the topics from number 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, Jugu Beatrice, your hand is up. Unmute yourself and address the house. Yes.
Good afternoon, house.
Good afternoon.
And, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you once again for this opportunity. In your rundown, one of the qualities of a questionnaire that you spoke about talks about neutrality.
It's not questionnaire. It's not quality of questionnaire.
I'm sorry, of research. Sorry.
It's not quality of research. It's ethical consideration.
Yes, sorry. Thank you for that. You spoke about neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
And what if they said the research topic has to do with, something dicey, like it is religion related? Do you shy? How do you handle such a situation?
Yeah. What you do is the major issue in that neutrality is that you must bear in mind that you are supposed to separate self, that is you, from the research. Do you understand? Neutrality is about not taking side. Okay, because if assuming you are a deeper life person, or Assemblies of God person, and you are the one researching on Assemblies of God, particularly your own district or whatever, or denomination, you understand?
Yes,
the
sir.
church where you go. If they say, your research finding point out to the fact that your pastor solely control the money and then use it at his at will, without a recall for those people who contribute the money, will you write it like that? Assuming you are in a Bible college, a theology college of that your church, and then you are doing a research on the credibility of your pastor in the church, and then all of a sudden you're finding, because you are not the one who is going to supply yourself the field work, the field that the data to be analyzed is in the field that you gather the data. Okay, those data you gather, they are anonymous. You have no contribution in it. So if you finish gathering it, people say their mind the way it is without looking at your face or knowing who you are. Then when you come to analyze it, and this data is about your church and your pastor, if the data say that your pastor is a thief, will you write that he's a thief in that research? Answer may be true.
Okay. In this case, they say talk is cheap. But I believe the right thing is to go by the report, since I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking from what the people, said. So I think I will put it that way. In as much as at this level, it's easy for me to say yes. But the right thing, going by the right thing to do, is to release it as it is from the people.
Exactly. That is it. So you can see the way you are struggling to express yourself. No, yeah, no, but that is suggesting that it is not easy for you to call your mother a dog, or for you to call, you understand my point? It's not
Yes,
easy,
yes.
even if your, God forbid, I'm just using that instance. Even if your mother is a dog, it's not easy for the son to call his mother or whatever a dog. You understand?
Yes, I get it, sir.
So if you are a policeman, and you are doing research on the same police, you see it will be very difficult for you to divert yourself from that research output without influencing it because of your selfish interest. So that is why in considering methods to use, you must put into consideration neutrality, ethical consideration, and many others. Do we understand? So
Yes, sir.
research is
I
a
get
very
it
serious
clearly.
business that you don't join sentiment into it. You don't join emotions into it. She's beautiful. She's ugly. She's tall. She's black. It's not the concern of researcher. You are taking the data and analyzing it the way you saw it in the field. That is neutrality. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I think I've gotten it clearly.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So, which other question? That's an interesting one that Bitrus provided. Yes, Anne Ogochukwu. Unmute yourself, Ogochukwu.
I would like you, sometimes you go
Yes. Yes, talk to us.
Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you,
Sir,
thank
please,
you.
under literature review, you did say that without literature review, primary data will not be justified. Sir, what do you mean by that statement?
Thank you so much. I'm
Without
glad with that question. Just stop it there. I understand where you're going. Now, Anne and other wonderful colleagues and friends, it is clear that it is through literature review, that is secondary data evaluation and examination, that you come by the gap, the missing link that direct and shape your choice of topic. Is that not so? That's what we have agreed already earlier. So if you read literature review and you use it, it opens your eyes to the weakness of researches done in the area of your interest. It gives you the direction and focus on how to construct your topic. So if you construct your topic and then literature review will be the only thing that will help you to do what? To justify your gap, your research gap, your primary data. By the time you go to the field and collect your primary data, as you present it during interpretation, you must be able to refer to past works, okay, in literature that is under your chapter 2. You must be able to refer to those work, the ones that either negates that primary data or validates it. So whether they negate your finding or they validate your finding is immaterial. The issue is that you are connecting your primary data with the secondary data to show you that it is always in research, secondary data versus primary data coming together in marriage and then proving what is missing and what is new. Do you understand? So there's a lot of connection between secondary data literature review and your primary data, which is the raw data you collected from the field. Do you understand? So in other words, it's literature review justifies the primary, the secondary data justifies the primary data. And sometimes also it negates it. It does what? It negates it.
Okay.
But whether it negates it or it justifies it is not your problem. And it's normal that it's either negated or justified. It is either validated or invalidated. So that is constant. Thank you.
All right.
Is that
So,
okay?
so I have another. I have another question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. You also said in one of the preambles that it is better that literature review is better done under relevant sub-theme. So please,
Yes.
can you throw light on
God
that
bless
as
you.
well?
God bless you, and I like that question. Yeah, you see, when you create a gap in research, okay, naturally there is evolution of questions that you think that if they are answered correctly, that gap created in statement of problem will be filled. Do you understand? So if that gap, that gap created, and sorry, come again with your question.
I say it is better that literature review is better done under relevant sub-theme.
So good. So those questions that evolve from the gap created are actually the issue of your research that gives focus and direction to your research activities. So anything you are doing is all about how to answer those questions so that the gap created in statement of problem will be filled. So if these questions, you first of all transpose them to research objective as your goal, target goal to actualize, and that is to answer those questions. So, and literature review you are going to review is not reviewing about America, when actually you are talking about your question is about Nigeria. You got the extent to which America or other places will come in is that you, when you are reviewing your literature under the sub-themes of research objectives, if you have 5 research objectives or research questions, you write them down as sub-themes and review literature under them. And in the course of reviewing literature, you review from the general to the particular. How do I mean? You review from the global perspective, global researches done elsewhere in the world, to regional researches done in other regions before you come to Nigerian context, to Nigerian researches in that area. You understand? So if you, just like when you are doing the introduction, your introduction to be meaningful, you must start on introducing that issue from the global perspective to the particular perspective. So what is important here is for you to know that research is a global language, and when you are doing research, you are not only confining yourself to your locality or your context. You are looking at that problem from global implication. Do you understand? So your research question should be listed as the sub-theme for your review. You're reviewing articles or materials that are relevant to those research questions, which you believe that by reviewing those, by reading those relevant materials, they will give you throw light into how literature of research done in the past have attempted to answer those questions. That is it. Is it clear? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
there's another question I want to ask.
Okay.
So though is outside what we've discussed here so far, but it's still in line with research. Okay, now, sir, I want to know if it's possible for one to write a research, or just like when you're putting whatever you've researched into writing, without writing an abstract.
No,
can a researcher do away with abstract?
No. Abstract is distinct. How is it distinct? It's not, sometimes when you finish your research, you are getting up to 100 pages, 200 pages.
Yes,
like my thesis, if you come to my office and I give you my thesis, if I put it on your head, the thing will want to weigh you down because of the weight. You understand? So it's not everybody that likes writing too many things. It's not everybody that likes writing too small things. But however, research to be meaningful, it must be self-explanatory. So if you write two small things, you are only trying to explain to yourself. Remember, you are not going to follow that research to all the readers. you must write in such a manner that your readers will read and understand even in your absence. Do you understand? So your question that abstracting in research is very better because the volume of research is not something that you will have time in some instances to read all through. What you do is you go to the abstract. The abstract is the summary, the summation, a bullet point summary of what you have done so far in that research. It takes care of first of all, it takes care of the statement of problem. It takes care of the research questions. It takes care of the methods. It takes care of the findings. Do you understand? So there are four stages in abstract. That is the problem creation, then the theoretical versus methodological frame, then the research questions, and then the finding, major finding. This is summarized in such a manner that when you in a jiffy, when looking at it, you have a firm grasp of the entirety of the whole work. You know, the research, the abstract of my thesis is just for, I think my abstract is about 390 words. Over words. When I mean words, not statements, not sentence, I mean words. Do you understand? 360 character, sorry, not word. Character, not word. What I mean by character here is A, B, C. You understand? Do you understand? So I have just 394 words. I'm sorry, characters. Okay, for a thesis of 320 pages. You can imagine. So that is, and to write abstract, you must be skilled. It's not everybody that knows how to write abstract or what to write in abstract. Okay, so abstract is a fact. In my days of my PhD, I learned to write abstract only less than 1 page assignment. I learned it for 2 good years, solid years. At a point, my supervisor was telling me that, oh, you'll be writing it sentence by sentence, in fact, that he said line by line. You know, so it is as rigorous as that. It is not something you toy with, because that is the major thing that carry the entire work. So everything about the work must be represented in that abstract. So abstract is key. You cannot do without abstract in research.
Okay, sir.
If it is report right, if it is a commission research, they call it abstract executive summary. So yeah. What other question do we have here?
And at the same time, I could remember, she a person will always come.
Yes.
And after some time, you will not see her, she disappeared.
Don't mind also, we are in a room where everybody is trying to catch up the deadline for the moderation today. I mean, for the facilitation today. Do you understand? So don't mind the background. Yes.
Why do some people, how and why?
So any more questions, or do we draw?
If there is no other question, you can share the screen now for the topic 5.
Okay, so
why are you so much interested?
Are you speaking for others?
This is really what we're going to do.
Yeah, Jugo Beatrice, please fire on.
People on this in the
Okay, mine is not really a question per se, is a humble request. If it be possible, the template instead of the screen, if you can get the template, make it we can use that to go over. The PowerPoint you shared. If it were possible,
What do you want to do with that?
Okay, to use it as a guide, to go over.
Hello?
Because today again, I almost missed the class. The first time ever I joined the class, I came in late, and today too because of my work structure. And we must study, so it's just really a bottleneck.
You can find that.
Okay, I have heard you, sir. By the time we are done with the class, we will decide on what to do about that. Remember, your exam starts on the 2nd of June.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are having the late night class between 9 and 10 today.
Okay, I'll make sure I keep to that.
Okay, thank you so much. So, any more questions?
One especially, whenever there is insects in that community.
Okay, so let me briefly, because I have just 4 minutes more to show Anne the topic 5. You know, if there is no other question.
It is different from the norms which we have in Asaba and from the norms of which we have in Alike. So all this differs from one place to another. So these standards are built to maximize internal self-control and try to produce conforming actions. This is a social control, so that everybody will really try to abide by the laws of the society.
Yeah.
As we go further, you will know the
so, Anne, what exactly do you want
formal and informal
in
sanctions
topic
and
5?
Norms. So what we're talking here?
So I didn't get anything at all.
What happened in the society?
This is serious.
As deviance is concerned,
okay.
Deviance is created. Deviance
topic
is
5 deals with research questions and research objectives. The expected learning outcome is this. Research objectives, this, that, then followed by this.
So according to
Is that okay?
The 1996.
Yes, sir.
That communities are abandoning many.
Are you picking your notes?
Every community has boundaries.
Yes, sir. I just have to screenshot, so let us go through it.
You have to do what?
Another person's community.
Because I have 3 more minutes.
So
I have 3 more minutes to go.
Has a specific territory.
So I'm done with this one. I've screenshotted this one already.
Okay. This is another.
What we're saying here is
okay. I'm done with this.
This is another one.
Which we call the cultural space.
Okay, sir. I'm done with it as well.
In that cultural space contain the norms.
It's another one.
The community therefore develop its own.
It's another one.
The ethos means the way of life in which they live on.
Yeah. So that's the conclusion.
It has their own, specific ethos.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
So this is a tune for you.
In Abuja State, they have our own ethos, which is very peculiar.
Thank you, sir.
Dimension of group space and geographical culture.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to especially thank you for your perseverance and for your consistency in making sure you become part of this class and this endeavor. I'm particularly glad that you have been this committed. I pray and hope that we'll continue in this rendition, even while after our examinations. Then I want to assure you that at any point in time that you need anything concerning what we have discussed so far, or you want to discuss anything that has to do with the department or your course or programs, you are free and me through the number I have given out. And you're also free to come to my office. I operate open door policy. I believe that it is because you are there that I have got this job to do, and you are there because I'm here, and I'm here because you are there. So we are complementing each other. There is no basis to be afraid or to be ashamed or to end yourself from accessing the department or any member of the department. And I rest assured will not be disappointed if you bring forth anything that you think, if done, make you do better. My greatest satisfaction passion is that we produce even up to 10 first class. That's what I want. And it's possible, it's doable. And how do we do it? We can do it when we
Hold up.
The month with this weekend.
Network.
Bye. Bye-bye, sir. Right.
Hello, mommy. Fine, good evening. 3, so put again.